I think you've probably seen over the 3 Test matches that you talk about, we've had some really positive moments. We batted very well in the first Test against Bangladesh. We batted very well in the first innings here. Against Bangladesh, we had them 6 for 26 at one stage in the first innings. Unfortunately, we just haven't been able to play our best cricket for long enough over the 5 days, and that is the challenge of Test match cricket. Is the team that can play the most consistent and the most efficient cricket for 5 days is usually the one that has the best chance of winning. And we've made mistakes either with the bat or the ball or in the field at times in all 3 games that have ended up being crucial. And in the end, we haven't been able to recover from those positions. So I think everyone's pretty clear that our best cricket is competitive cricket, but there is quite a big gap between our best cricket and the rest of our cricket, and we need to close that gap so that we're playing closer to our best for longer, more often.
Hey coach, this is a worker from Greenway. So, was this the surface we were expecting, or do you think we were asking for something else that we couldn't prepare?
I think we probably thought with the forecast heat that the wicket may have deteriorated quicker. It's held together pretty well, hasn't it, over the 4 days so far, and even this evening. With the new ball, the hard new ball hit the surface hard, and there was some movement, and a couple didn't bounce and a couple bounced a bit more, but I think overall it's been pretty consistent. So I would suggest we would have liked a surface that maybe offered a bit more deterioration, so both the spinners and the fast bowlers had a bit more of a chance. But once again, we made 550 and then we couldn't bowl the opposition out after that for less than 800, and they played so well. It was, they were too good for us today. So it's almost, the pitch is important, but we just need to play better on whatever surface we are presented with.
Babar is struggling. It's been 18 innings that he has scored less than 50. Did you talk to him what the real problem is, why he's not scoring big?
Yeah, it's a concern for him. He's very aware of it. People are obviously talking about it a lot. The interesting part, I think, is that he continually gets to 20, 30, even 40 at times and then is getting out. So to get through the start of your innings, to get to a stage where you've made 30 or 40 runs suggests that there's not too much of a technical problem. You're able to cope with the fast bowlers or the spinners. So maybe just being clearer in his mind, being able to move through the gears of his innings at the moment is more difficult for him than it has been in the past. I expect opposition bowlers and opposition teams have become more aware of how he likes to score, so they are bowling differently to him and have different fields for him. And all these things are the progression of an elite player from being one of the world's best who's going through a tough time to getting back to where he wants to go. So he's working very hard. He's fit, he's motivated, and he's working very hard. So I'm sure in time he will find the magic sauce again and start to make significant runs for Pakistan.
And how many contracts with Pakistan now?
What was that, sorry?
How many contracts in Pakistan? It's the first one we've observed. Is there any way of explaining that? What can you do about it?
Kind of been thinking about it for about 3 hours, to be honest with you. Probably 12 hours. He's just playing so well. He's got such power. He's well organised. He sets up beautifully for when we bowled straight. But because of his power, we almost got scared of bowling straight at times as well. So he puts such pressure back on the opposition bowling. I thought just as importantly today, as good as an innings it was, as great as an innings it was awesome to see him still, when he was 310 not out, running threes. It's hot out there, and England have come from playing Australia with beanies and jackets on to 40 degrees every day. So it's a real credit to them and their system. He's a 20 Test match player now, and to have scored a 300, and I think maybe only the 5th time ever in English cricket history. It's pretty pretty storied company. So you might need to give us a couple of days to come up with a solution to it. Maybe if we could nick one or miss one early on, that'd be a good start for us. Yeah.
It feels from afar that Pakistan has suffered a few really painful defeats recently. There's maybe another one. What was that atmosphere like in the dressing room before they came out for the start of their second innings? And how's it been coming over the last 2 days?
We got bashed up a little bit today. There's no doubt about that. The heat, the length of time, 150 overs in the field. We didn't have our spinner who's still in hospital today, so that's been tough. We had to rely on our second spinner in Salman and even Saeem to bowl some overs for us, who did a good job. But when you've got two guys on over 200 on a wicket like that, when you're bowling part-time spinning, so if you're going less than 6, 7, 8 and over, you're probably doing pretty well. So whilst everyone's a bit disappointed tonight, there's some good young enthusiastic cricketers who are only just in the infancies of their test career, and if they're learning anything, they're learning that test cricket's hard. And that's not a bad lesson to learn, because it doesn't get easier, and they'll need to continue to be resilient and strong and tough and understand why England are so good when we play them this way and how we're going to try and get to that level in the near future.
Just quickly, an update on Babar's condition. How is he?
I can't tell you, I'm sorry. I know he's still in hospital. We were kind of aware once we lost our 6th wicket this afternoon. It was like, okay, is he going to be able to get here? And he was still in hospital, but that's all I know. Yeah. I couldn't tell you that. Yeah. I'm not even sure exactly of what the condition is, to be honest, so I wouldn't be willing to say anything. Yeah.